Hello, who are you and where are you from?
I'm Norma Andrews, and I was born in Brazil, but I have been living in the U.S. since 1984. So I was at Yale University for 18 years. Then I moved to the University of Maryland, where I am currently a professor.
Of what?
So I live in the U.S. for a long time, but as you can tell, I have an accent because I left Brazil when I was almost 30 years old.
And what are you a professor of?
Cell biology.
Cell biology. Okay.
So small things that you look through in a microscope.
All right. And so, has the climate changed much since you were a child?
It's difficult to tell in my situation because, right, I grew up in Brazil, in the south. It was not very tropical, and then I went to Connecticut in New England. So I would say I don't think anybody can really tell in the one human life time scale. You cannot tell the change, right? I think I more or less understand the science, and climate is something bigger than weather. And so I haven't noticed a change because I changed continents. But I think even if I had stayed in Brazil, it's very hard to tell in terms of just the span of 80 years or a human life.
And and uh, and so, but given what you know about climate, um, do you think about it on an everyday basis, or let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most concerned? Where would you put your concern about climate?
At a 9, I do think about it. I feel guilty about it's very difficult to change your lifestyle, right? All these plastics, all this industrialized stuff that we consume every day. I feel guilty about it, but at the same time, yeah, I'm realistic. It is impossible, right? I really appreciate people who try to change their habits, but it has to be changed at a level of industry and production and commerce and not at the individual level. If you just stop buying stuff that comes packaged in plastic, it's not really going to affect, right? But the changes have to be larger and involve more people.
Given that and what you know, should we be optimistic? Are you optimistic about the future, or are you pessimistic? And is there anything we can do about it?
I'm not very optimistic. This means, but John is actually the one who always reminds me of what
That's your husband?
Yes. He's an engineer, a systems engineer, and engineers have done amazing things. For example, when somebody understands the cause of a problem, like the ozone, there was this hole in the ozone, and they understood what it was, right? These gases that were being released from these products that sprays and stuff. So once you understand the cause, you really can reverse problems. So I do believe that science has the power. I have heard people who really understand well this problem. I've been to lectures, and they are really very concerned about the atmosphere. They say all the other things that people worry about, like water. And I'm told by scientists that study this that don't have to worry too much about water. It is a cycle. And it means it may run out in one region, but there's always going to be some in another region that can be brought in. But the atmosphere is so thin, and we're putting so much CO2 into it. So at the level of the experts, I don't hear much optimism. No, it's pretty serious.
And there isn't much we as individuals can do. It's
I think maybe at the level of who you vote for. Right? So in my country, for example, in Brazil, there was a major change in government now in which the new president has promised that he will stop deforestation. He understands the importance of the Amazon and everything, right? And how much the burning of these large forests can contribute to climate change. So if you have leaders that can change the direction of a country, Biden has tried, right? He has approved the infrastructure bill that apparently is going to do quite a bit too. But there's so much opposition here that it's always a halfway decision, not enough, right? But I believe that the only people capable of reversing this would be an enlightened government that really could take bold action. But our politics get in the way, right?
Well, thank you very much on this February the 14th, 2023 in Key Largo, Florida. Thank you. No, sorry, Key West, Florida.
Key West.
And thank you very much.
You're welcome.